Okay, let's get started the prayers. So fold your hands and we'll all chant prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshirunmilitam Yena Dasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, let's get started the prayers. Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashaddadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone, and let us spend some time on hearing about Krishna Katha. Haribo. Hare Krishna. Okay, so as we all know, Krishna Janmashtami is approaching soon on Monday. So we'll discuss something from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is exclusively talking about the Krishna Leela. But we'll read this verse today, which is before the Shukdev Goswami start narrating the Krishna Leela. He quotes this verse, and which is a very important verse for all to understand. So please repeat after me. Nivrat Rupagiyamana Baba Shadashro Damano Birama Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada Puman Viraje Dabina Pashugna Nivratta Darshe Rupagiyamana Baba Shadashro Damano Birama Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada Puman Viraje Dabina Pashugna. We'll read one more time. Nivratta Darshe Rupagiyamana Baba Shadashro Damano Bhirama Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada Puman Viraje Davina Bhajugnath. A translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So read the translation. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? So there is a nice purport also Prabhupada has written. Maybe just we'll read few lines and then we'll start discussing the translation. Purport. In India, it is the practice among the general populace to hear about Krishna, either from Bhagavad Gita or from Srimad Bhagavatam, in order to gain relief from the disease of repeated birth and death. Although India is now fallen, when there is a message that someone will speak about Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, thousands of people still gather to hear. This verse indicates, however, that such recitation of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam must be done by persons completely freed from material desires. Navratta Tarshai. Everyone within this material world, beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, is full of material desires for sense enjoyment. And everyone is busy in sense gratification. But when thus engaged, one cannot fully understand the value of Krishna Katha. either in the form of Bhagavad Gita or in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we'll start our discussion here at this point and try to cover some of the important lessons through this verse. So basically, before Shukdev Goswami start narrating the Krishna Leela, he mentions this verse, which explains three categories of people: those who listens to Krishna Gatha. So what are the three categories? He says, Nivratta Tarsher Upagiya Mana, who sings the glories of Krishna. One category is Nivratta Tarsher, means those who are Nivratta. Nivratta means those who are completely free from all the Tarsher. Tarsher means Krishna. Krishna means materialistic desires. So that is one category. Those who are completely free, means basically they are liberated souls. Muktas, the pure devotees, the great devotees. They naturally loves to hear about Krishna, talk about Krishna, sings the glories of Krishna. That is one category. Nivratta Tarsher Upagiyama. Now the second category, those who are not free from the desires, materialistic desires, they still might be having some desires. They also listen what will happen to them. So those one category is muktas, the completely liberated souls. Second category is sadhakas. Sadhakas means people like us, all of us. So we are not completely into all materialistic lifestyle. Somewhere we have understood a little bit importance of this Krishna consciousness. We are trying to practice, trying to understand, trying to become more serious and advanced. But still we are not completely free from all our materialistic desires and some anarthas and all of that. So how does it act for this category of people? So it says, Bhav Aushadat Shrot Manobirama. Bhav Aushada means for those people, those who are sadhakas, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, for them this Krishna Gatha, this Krishna consciousness acts like a Aushadi. Aushadi means the medicine. And so Krishna Leela, Krishna Gatha is being described as Bhava Aushada. It is a medicine. For whom? For sadhakas. So one category is liberated souls, the muktas, they naturally relish. Second category is sadhakas, practicing people, practicing devotees. For them, this Krishna Gatha acts like a medicine. Bhav Aushada. Shrot Manobhiramat. And there is a third category, those who are not at all interested in Krishna. They're not devotees. They're not even practicing devotees. But they just heard about, okay, Krishna was there 5,000 years back, some Vrindavan Leela, something like that. Those people also love to hear about Krishna. Because Krishna Leela, another feature of this Krishna Katha is, it is Manobhiramat. It is very pleasing to hear. Somebody is not a devotee, he's not interested in Krishna. They will say, okay, I love hearing all these Krishna stories because there is a lot of drama, there's a lot of romance, the family politics, so many other, so many things are there in that. So these stories are good to listen. I love to listen all those stories. So basically, this verse is explaining, Shukdev Goswami explains that this Krishna Katha, it caters three categories of people: the muktas, the sadhakas, and the non-devotees. For the muktas, those who are nivritta tarshar, they're completely free from all the desires, they naturally relish. Constantly they keep relishing. Machitta madgata prana bodhyantasya parasparam. Whenever they find every single opportunity, they want to come together, sit together, and talk about Krishna. The natural taste is there. For the sadhakas, we are not developed the natural taste. We are still infected with all these materialistic desires, but we get cured, we get purified. It acts like a aushadhi, it acts like a medicine. And then third category is those who are not devotees, but they also like to listen this story. So basically, in one line, this Krishna Leela, Krishna Katha is for everyone. And what is the purpose of Krishna coming here in this world? 5,000 years back, Krishna came, right? And that Krishna's appearance, the whole world celebrates its Krishna Janmashtami, which will be celebrating soon in 2 days. And a whole lot of preparation is going on and all of that. Now question can be asked, what is the purpose of Krishna coming here? There can be many, many answers from different angle. One such answer is Krishna comes in this world, perform those pastimes, those lila, and leave behind all the subject matter for the people in this world to discuss. Krishna would have not come. There's no Krishna lila. There's no Krishna Katha. Then what Katha will do? Will do all the time Maya Katha. All these worldly talks, worldly things, worldly engagement, worldly absorption. But now there is an option. Krishna came, Krishna performed some Bal Leela, some different Leela, different pastimes, so many innumerable pastimes. And that has created an opportunity for millions and millions of jivas in this material world. That by some good sense, they get some good intelligence, a good fortune. Then they come in touch with devotees, and there is an option to hear about Krishna. Right, Bhagavatam explains who is the fortunate person in this world. Now, different people define their fortune in different ways. If I get a good job, I get a lot of money, I get a lot of other things, then I am fortunate. Right? But as per the standard of Bhagavatam, who is the fortunate person? Says one who gets to hear about Krishna is the fortunate person. Right. Then question is asked in the Bhagavatam. Who is more fortunate person? Fortunate is one who gets to hear about Krishna, Krishna Leela, Krishna Katha is a fortunate person. Because sometimes what happens is we don't understand the seriousness of all of those things. For us, every day there's some classes going on, either on the Zoom or either in the temple, in person. There's a lot of recorded class on YouTube. We think, what is special about this? What is a good fortune in this? But we should understand from the scriptures, Brahmanda Brahmite, Kon Bhagyavana Jeev. You go to the entire universe, top to bottom, there will be very few rare souls, those who knows about Krishna. For us, it looks like because you come to the temple, you see all around devotees only, and say everybody is talking about Krishna only. But what is this portion? Like this is a small portion of the whole crowd, whole population, not even 0.0001%. It is much lesser. So it is extremely rare. So to hear about Krishna Katha itself is considered in the Bhagavatam as good fortune. Who is more fortunate has been explained. One who gets to hear about Krishna repeatedly is more fortunate. And that is why Prabhupada has created this system and his temples that every day there should be Krishna Katha. There has to be some discussion about Krishna. Reading from Bhagavatam and somebody is talking, somebody is speaking, somebody is listening. So Prabhupada has given us the opportunity to become more fortunate. So fortunate, more fortunate. And then question is asked, who is the most fortunate? And that has been described in the Bhagavatam. One who gets to hear about Krishna Katha repeatedly in the association of devotees. He is the most fortunate person in the entire creation. Right. So this Krishna Katha is so wonderful. It is so nice. Just by hearing, we just develop our good fortune. Hearing in the association of devotees repeatedly, and by doing this simple activity, we become most fortunate person in the entire creation. And the beauty in the nature of this Krishna Katha is it caters all kinds of people. Either somebody is a pure devotee, somebody is a practicing devotee, somebody is a non-devotee. They also love to hear. Sometimes some stories are going on because, okay, let me listen. So like that. Okay. So we'll discuss we'll try to derive some lessons from today's discussion. So we'll not get too much into the story, but we'll try to focus on what lessons we can learn from Krishna Janma, because we are celebrating this Janmashtami, Krishna's appearance day. So we'll not get into the story exactly, because I am assuming that everybody is familiar with the story and how Krishna appeared. Right? We all know the story that how one time this Bhumi Devi, the Mother Earth, she, along with so many other followers, and she goes in the form of a cow and in a crying state to Lord Brahma. And then she pleaded and she expresses that she is becoming so overburdened by so many sinful people who is constantly committing sin. So I need some relief. And then Brahma, though he is the creator, and this Brahmaji, who is the creator of this entire creation, he is a four-headed Brahma, super intelligent person. The creator cannot be some ordinary person. super smart, super intelligent person. And when you go with some problem to such a smart person, such an intelligent person like Brahma, then there is a natural expectation that there should be solution of my problem, right? And Brahma is very expert in giving the solutions of all varieties of problems. But in this particular case, when Bhumi Devi comes crying, saying, "This is the problem, I need some relief." And Brahmaji, he realized that the solution of this problem is beyond my ability. I don't know what to do. People are they're increasingly committing a lot of sins, but I don't know how to relieve the Mother Earth from all these sins. So we can derive one lesson, the lesson number one from Brahmaji, that though Brahmaji is very, very intelligent, super intelligent, and when person generally, in general, when somebody is super smart, then naturally arrogance comes. Oh, I'm very smart, I'm very intelligent. I know, I can solve the problems like that. And I've solved hundreds and thousands of problems like that. So for such people, intellectual people, to accept something that I cannot do, it's very difficult for them. Because they're so much dependent on their own ability, on their own intellectual abilities. There's nothing wrong in trying out, but someone should be intelligent enough to understand that there is something which I cannot solve. I cannot find the solution. So that needs a lot of humility. So somebody can be very intelligent, but this intelligence, it is coupled with humility, and also if there's some power. So intelligence and power coupled with humility is a very, very powerful combination. You might see a lot of people, they're very intelligent people. You might find some people, they're very powerful people. Great to have that. But all those things are coupled with the humility, then that is a very, very rare combination. So which Brahmaji is teaching us by his example. This Bhumi Devi comes and he realized that I cannot solve. Because people in this world are too dependent on the ability of their fertile brain, that we can solve the problems. And people try to solve the problems. But the nature of the solution in this world, as Bhagavatam says, that the solution of the problem in this world itself is another problem. It seems like a solution. Soon you will realize that the solution itself is another problem. Right? That is what is happening in this world. It needs little brain to understand. Right? You see that how people are super smart, super intelligent in this modern age, but how increasingly the problems are day by day. You see this new problems are coming. And all brainy people, they're sitting and working 24/7 to find the solution of all the problems. But the result is the problems are only increasing day by day. That is the nature of this world. If you become too dependent on your own abilities, don't recognize, don't understand the supreme will, that is when this kind of combination comes. More and more problems. See, like a few decades back, when there are no good roads, roads were not developed. And then they thought, okay, people are wasting so much time in traffic and traffic jam. So, let us just build big roads, especially in this country. Now you go anywhere in this country, it's nice roads. They thought that will solve the problem, that will save the time, because people can commute faster. The good roads are there. And it sounds like a very logical solution of this problem. But now what is the actual result came out of that? Now those, good roads are there. People, the fast moving cars are there, and people are stuck in the traffic jam now, hours and hours. So the solution was that it will save the time. But actually now people are spending more time on the traffic jams. So this is the nature of the solution in this world for any problem. So it needs little humility to accept that probably I cannot do that. So Brahmaji accepted that, and Brahmaji agreed that, okay, let us go to the Supreme Lord, and then we'll go and we'll pray to the Lord. Lord only had to help with this, right? So now when Brahmaji along with this Bhumi Devi goes, Brahmaji did not go alone. There's another wonderful lesson. Lesson number 2. Brahmaji called all the demigods, 33 crore devatas. So, okay, let us go all together, to offer our prayers. To go to the Chir Sagar, where the Supreme Lord is there, we'll all go together. So, what is the lesson here? See, sometimes when we go alone and you try to pray, you want something. Yes, we can go sincerely pray something, but then there is a special power in the prayers in the association of devotees. And that is what exactly the Shastra again and again insists. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. If anybody is seriously interested in spiritual progression, then you should practice your spiritual life in the association of devotees. You can go to the temple all alone, or you can just pray at your home all alone, which is great. But the power comes when you are in the association of devotees. Because, and that is what is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sankirtana Yagya Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumay Rasa. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that in this modern age, this Sankirtan Yagya, Sankirtan means Sankirtan. Kirtan means glorifying the Lord, praying to the Lord. But Sankirtan means all of us together, we go in front of the Lord and then we pray and we try to glorify the Lord. That is called Sankirtan. Because there is a power in that association. All the devotees comes together and you start praying together. All right. And then it has the potency, it has the power to grab the attention of the Supreme Lord. It is just like, when you go on strike, some ordinary person go on a strike and in front of some big government building, something like that. All powerful politicians sits there in the building and he says, "Hamari mange puri karo," something, hi, and all of that. If you are all alone going there, you might shout and you might be very powerful and all of that. But if you are all alone, maybe one security guard will come and he will just kick out that person. Why people doesn't go alone? Because there is a power in coming together. So whenever there is a strike, thousands of people, they come together, and then they go and they start pleading. We want this, we want that, something. And when more the number of people are there, when they start asking, praying, then they have the power to shake the entire government. They're forced to listen to them. Oh, why so many people are gathered here? What they want? Let us go and talk to them. Understand what is their demands. So the Sankirtan, in the same way, when we go in front of the Lord and we say, Lord, please bless us. Please shower your mercy. Please shower your blessings on us. Then Lord is also, there is a power in the prayer. And Lord is also bound to shower his blessings. So okay, let us go and see that what these people are asking. Also, so this is the power of association, lesson number 2. And also we should understand what happens when we are in the association of devotees, a lot of hundreds and thousands of devotees. So we may not be qualified to receive the blessings of the Lord, or receive the glance of the Lord. Right? You are in the crowd, and there is a possibility that in that crowd there might be one qualified devotee who is very dear to the Lord. And Lord says, oh, here is my devotee right in the center. Let me just look at him. Let me just shower my glance on him. So Lord tried to glance on that one devotee, and if you are surrounded by all those devotees, those kind of devotees, then you also comes into the radar of the Lord. So with the association of devotees, we also get blessed. So that is what exactly the Brahmaji is applying this strategy. He's not going alone to pray to the Lord. He says, okay, let us all go together. So all the demigods, 33 crore demigods, they're going and they're praying to the Lord. And where they're going, they could have planned, okay, let us sit here, all of us now pray. But they're going to a particular place. The place is Chirusa, where the Lord is lying. So this also gives a very important lesson for all of us, that one can pray from anywhere, there's nothing stops, but it's still a place has its own potency. In a particular place, when you go and when you offer your prayers, then it creates another impact. So you can chant Hare Krishna, you can pray, you can read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam at your home. Definitely it is beneficial. But when you come to the temple, it has its own potency. So many times people ask why we should go to the temple. You can pray anywhere. Yes, one can pray, one can worship the Lord anywhere, but the temple has its own potency, right? So we should understand. So this Brahmaji goes to the sea shore and then they all start chanting the prayers in the glorification of the Supreme Lord, Purushukta prayers. Special prayers are there. They glorify the Lord, and Lord being pleased with their prayers, Lord reciprocates with Brahmaji. And Lord actually transfer the message in the heart of Brahmaji. And what was the message? That, okay, I understood the problem of the Bhumi Devi. To relieve the burden of the entire earth, I'll soon appear. But before that, my instruction is that all the demigods, they should take birth. they should take birth in the family of Yadus. So these all Yadus, they're actually demigods. Because Lord has to come. Lord never comes alone. He comes with an whole entourage. A lot of devotees has to come. So Lord instructed Brahmaji in the heart that all of you should also take birth. Now what happened? Now something very interesting thing happened here. See, Lord communicates, conveys that message to Brahmaji that all of you should, all the demigods, all of you should take birth and I'll appear soon. And Brahmaji, as it is, transferred that message to other demigods. And okay, I got this message, all of you should take birth. So Lord said to Brahmaji, all of you, and Brahmaji, as it is said, to all the demigods, all of you. One person missed. One person got missed. With that one person, Brahmaji himself. And that became the seed of the later Brahma Vimohan Leela. Because he couldn't participate in any pastimes of the Lord. So then Lord has to arrange. And that is why the later Brahma Vimohan Leela happened. So this seva opportunity comes, one should be very, very intelligent how to grab that opportunity. Otherwise, what happens? Seva comes and you says, okay, do seva. They're telling me to do seva, all of you, and I'm just passing and I got missed. As I said, this seva is a very, very rare thing. It is not found in this world. Right? So as soon as there is a seva opportunity, one should immediately grab this. Brahmaji missed that. So we can learn that lesson. Because many times what happens, we can come to the temple, keep coming, but if we are not engaged in some practical devotional service, some seva, then we should know that we are missing out something very important. There are some opportunities being created. That opportunity is not found anywhere in the world. You go outside in your office, in your friend circle, in your community, anywhere. There's no opportunity for doing seva to the Lord. You can do a lot of other things. But that seva opportunity is only available in the temple. So if when we are coming to temple and we are not grabbing onto the seva opportunity, practical devotional service, we will be missing out something. Right? So that is how we should understand that the seva is something. One time, one devotee in one of the temple, so Prabhupada was also there and they were all set for the prasadam. So everybody was sitting and some devotees were serving the prasadam. Prabhupada was also sitting there. And this particular person who was serving the prasad, he had some special sweet like big rasgulla, something Rajbhog kind of a sweet, but just one piece. So when he was serving, so he asked one devotee, do you want? Then he realized only just one piece. If I take it, it looks very odd, like other people won't get. So he kind of little hesitated at that point when he was asked, do you want this? And he started thinking, he was thinking that I want this, but then he was thinking, shall I take or shall I not take? How would it look? And in the meantime, like in this moments it happened, when he was thinking, in the meantime, this devotee asked the next person, do you want? And he said, yes, I want. So this person thought, yes, I want, but by the time he decided in his mind that I want this, he was almost, yeah, I want. In the meantime, he gave to other person. And then he was saying, oh my God, I just missed it. Right. And then Prabhupada was sitting there and Prabhupada made a comment. Prabhupada says, this is the nature of the seva service. If momentally you miss, it will go to somebody else. So as soon as there is an opportunity to do seva, immediately one should grab that seva opportunity. Next moment you may not find. So I wanted to do that, but now somebody else is doing. So you lost your chance. So Brahmaji lost his chance here. Right. So like that, we should understand so how to take the instructions properly. Brahmaji got the instruction, but he kind of did not understand it properly, and he got, missed out. So instruction should be understood as, Bhagavad Gita Krishna explains that one should listen instruction submissively with a, humble attitude. We should not just receive the instructions and then pass on the instruction like a boss, but one should be very, very submissive to receive and understand and execute those instructions. So this submissiveness is a great attitude in our spiritual journey. So this submissiveness leads to endless hope, wherein there's a mental speculation. It leads to hopeless end. People start speculating, what is for me, maybe not for me, maybe for others. I can ask others. They ask me, I can ask others. Then one should be very, very careful. One should try to grab the seva opportunity. So like that, we should understand. So this is Nivratta Tarsha Rupagiyamana. You should understand that those who are liberated souls, they are constantly engaged in serving the Lord, in listening the Lord, listening about the Lord's pastime, chanting the holy name of the Lord. So that is one category. The second category is Bhava Aushadha. What it is Bhava Aushadha? Bhava Aushadha is, just one second, let me just mute someone. Sorry. So this Bhava Aushadha is Krishna Katha acts like a Aushadhi, like a medicine for the sadhakas, for the practicing devotees. So we are all sadhakas. We may not naturally relish Krishna Katha and Krishna Seva, but doesn't mean that just because we are not relishing, so we said, okay, anyway, I don't relish it. There's no taste, so I should not do. It is a medicine for us. All the process of bhakti at this point is like a medicine. Medicine is always bitter by taste. It is not sweet. Though it is bitter, but still we should take this bitter pill. So when the temple you come and you will be asked, okay, chant every day Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds. It is too bitter. 16 rounds chanting Hare Krishna. You can start taking some small doses, 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, and gradually you will start developing some taste. And it is acting like a medicine, Bhava. And then unless we become completely selfless, then we'll not relish this. So we have to become completely nivratta darsha, free from all kinds of egoistic considerations, materialistic desires, complete selfless service attitude. Then we can relish this Krishna Seva, Krishna Gata. Till then, we should understand that I'm taking it as like a medicine. So let me, though it is not very tasty, let me just continue with it. With knowledge, you understand, medicine helps you to cure your disease, your infection. Okay. So at this point, my Lord Krishna said that I'll come, I'll appear soon. And fast forward the story, we know that how Krishna appeared there. And then on the day, then Vasudeva and Devaki got married, and we know the story then how Kamsa attempted to kill Devaki because there was a celestial voice. The eighth son of Devaki will, cause the death of Kamsa. And he was a very demonic person. Really, he tried to kill Devaki. And at that point, Vasudevji, he was bewildered. Like he just got married, newly wedded wife, and such a danger. This Kamsa was physically also very, very powerful. He's also by nature very demoniac. Though the Vasudeva also a Kshatriya, but he was not having any army at that time. He was not prepared to fight. But the challenging situation came, and he has to deal with it. Right. So immediately he had to figure out what to do. And at that point, his Vasudevji is addressed as Tatasya Shauri Bhagavat Prachodita. Vasudevji addressed as Shauri. Shauri means he is a brave person. And what is his bravery? He did not fight with Kamsa. He did not took out his sword and fighting and challenging him. So what is bravery? There's multiple explanations are given by the scriptures, by the acharyas, why he is addressed as Shauri. So one reason is because he is the son of Sursen. So naturally, like the son of Shura is Shauri. But also the meaning of Shauri is Shaurya. Shaurya comes from the bravery. Shaurya means the Kshatriyas are generally, they're very brave. So what is his bravery? So one bravery has been explained is that he saved his wife at the moment, in the critical hour, when he was not having any resources. He was in a completely helpless situation. And, in that kind of a helpless situation, still he did not give up. So we learn from the Vasudevji that we might be helpless, and invariably will be helpless in this world. That is the nature of this world. We may be helpless, but we should not be hopeless. And so this Vasudevji, he shows now he was so hopeful. He attempted in this moment's notice, he tried so many ways. He tried to explain some philosophy to Kamsa, and the body and all of that. And also emotionally, also he tried to tap into that the lady you are killing, it's your own sister, right? On the day of marriage, first of killing a woman, it's considered very heinous act. And that woman happened to be your own sister. And that was on the day of her wedding. So like that, he tried to tap. And so in the moment's notice, he just tried so many different ways, hope after hope, no hope against hope. He did not give up the hope. And finally, nothing seems to be working. And he says, okay, what is the last weapon? And he says, okay, the celestial voice says, the eighth son of Devki will kill you, not Devki. So you have no danger from the Devki. And I give you the promise that I'll bring all the child born from Devki. I'll present to you. And then this Vasudevji was very, very famous for his word of honor. If he gives the word like a Kshatriya, then Kamsa was also confident that he'll not go back on his words. So he says, okay. And that worked out. So we can understand that when we are put into some challenging situation, some helpless situation, we should try our best, whatever we can do. In fact, when we come to Krishna consciousness and when we try to do some seva to the Lord, it's not easy. Krishna consciousness life is also not easy. There might be a lot of challenges in the seva. There can be physical challenges on our own end, our own physical, mental challenges. There might be some external challenges. And when Prabhupada was here in this country, people were attacking on Prabhupada in so many different ways. At one point, Prabhupada was saying, anywhere I go, people attack on me. So when he was in America, there are people, those were the deprogrammers. So whenever there's some gathering, they'll come and throw some bombs. It happened with Prabhupada. They're trying to attack on Prabhupada. When Prabhupada goes to Vrindavan, so all this caste Goswamis, Vrindavan, these all caste Goswamis, they think that it is our rightful claim to do all those things. Why this Prabhupada is bringing all these Americans and initiating them and allowing them to worship in the temple and all of that. So they're criticizing Prabhupada, they're attacking on Prabhupada. And when Prabhupada goes to Mayapur, his own god brothers were criticizing Prabhupada. It is not easy. Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee, selflessly trying to serve the Supreme Lord and sharing this wisdom with entire humanity for their own good. But life is not easy. There's always challenges. But Prabhupada says, I'm not the man who will give up so easily. Prabhupada one place he says, I'm a Calcutta boy. Very strong-hearted, very strong-headed. Prabhupada was very, very strong. Anybody will give up. Prabhupada in his journey, when he was coming here, he got 2 heart attacks consecutive nights. And the people were suggesting Captain Pandya in the ship, saying, Swamiji, better you get down, you will not reach to America. You'll not reach there. Probably your dead body only reach. But Prabhupada was very, very determined for serving the instruction of his Guru. So that should be the kind of determination. From where this determination comes? This determination comes from the devotion, from the faith in the Supreme Lord. And Lord is there to protect me. Mare Krishna rakhe ke, rakhe Krishna mare ke. Krishna wants to protect, nobody can touch me. Nothing can happen. If Krishna decided to kill me, then whatever I do, I cannot be protected. So we hear all this kind of instruction, but how much we feel and realize that apply in our life. Prabhupada was the person, So all this kind of challenging situations comes in life, but with great determination, one should be ready. Prabhupada got 2 heart attacks and finally reached to Boston Harbor. And after that, it's not like that Prabhupada got down in Boston and okay, he asked the address, where is, some hospital or some doctor, cardiac surgeon or something. I want to go and test first. What is the situation? Prabhupada got down and the day one he started, vigorously started preaching. So pure devotees like that. There will be challenges. But who is the shari? Who is the brave person? Despite all kinds of helplessness, still you are not hopeless. So this Vasudevji is at this point addressed as Tatashari Bhagavat Prachoditaha Sutam Samadhaya Sasutika Graha. This verse comes where this Vasudevji addressed as Shurveer. So there are multiple reasons. One reason is reason number 1, he is the son of Sursen. Reason number 2, he was very, very hopeful. Okay. Reason number 3, why he is addressed as Shari, he walked his talk. He gave the promise to Kamsa that as soon as the child is born, I'll bring. And the first child was born. This Vasudevji took that child and presented to Kamsa. And by seeing the newly born baby, very soft, a tender baby, Kamsa's heart also melted for a moment. Says, okay, no problem. Anyway, I have no danger from the first child. My danger is the eighth child. You bring the eighth child. But the nature of demon is you can never trust them. The next moment, how they will change because they're always surrounded by demonic people. So there might be some time, some good thought might come, but your association won't allow you to maintain those good thoughts. So though this comes a God, this good thought that, okay, let me not kill this child. But next moment, all these demonic associates came. Say, what you're doing? And they're giving one analogy. They took one flower and they're rotating the flower. He says, okay, which is the first petal and which is the eighth petal? You cannot really determine. You rotate, the first can be the eighth or eighth can be the first. How do you rotate? Like that's some analogy they gave. And immediately Kansa changed his mind and he killed the newly born tender child. Now here is Vasudevji. In front of his eyes is the father. And he saw that, the newly born child smashed against the wall and mercilessly, ruthlessly killed. But his promise was every child he will give to Kansa. Now, one time you see this ghastly, scene, you will not have the courage to go on to keep your words. But this Vasudevji, these are the kind of Kshatriyas in those days. They are given the word, then they'll not go back. So he bring the child again and again. So like that. So for that also, he walked his talk. So for that also, he is addressed as Shari. Nobody can do that. Even a Kshatriya cannot do that. Just to do this kind of thing, even Kshatriya also cannot do. Who can do? The father of the Supreme Father only can do that. Nobody else can do that. And that is why he is glorified as the Shari. Okay. Another reason is given is very nice reason. That how this Vasudevji escaped from the jail. Like the fast forward the story that how Krishna was born, the eighth child, and Krishna did not take birth or he did not appear like an ordinary child, but he came in the four-handed form, Vishnu form. He told that I am the Supreme Lord, I'm coming as a child. And he reminded Vasudeva and Devaki that in your past life, how you did a lot of austerity and being pleased with your austerity, I gave you the benediction. And what they asked was that we want the Supreme Lord as the son. We want the son like Supreme Lord. He said, there cannot be anyone like me. I only had to become your son. There cannot be anyone like me. So I'll come. And then he reminds that I gave you this promise, now I am coming as your son. Right? And then the same Narayan form, that four-handed form Vishnu, he became into the small baby. And as soon as he came, what happened? That the Supreme Lord gave the instruction that I'll come now and you have to take me out from the jail. Now this is very interesting, analysis that how the Supreme Lord can give us such an impractical instruction. He knows this Vasudeva is in the jail and he is shackled with iron chains. He tied by those chains. He cannot move out. He cannot walk out. And the jail is also locked up. And there are 16 layers. Now, jail was also not ordinary jail, Kansa jail. There are 16 layers of jail. Some of you managed to, come out from one door or second one. 16 layers. And then after those layers, after all those doors, then there's some this guards were sitting ready to kill you. There's some tigers. The hungry tigers are there. They're waiting if somebody try to escape, they'll eat you up there. So like that, it's very, very difficult to escape. And now Krishna has appeared there and Krishna is giving the instruction, please take me out. Seems like a very impractical instruction. But now there is wonderful lesson for all of us to understand from this episode what happened exactly and why this Vasudevji is addressed Shari, brave for this. See, as soon as he heard this instruction, first of all, now there is something interesting here. That Krishna gave this instruction and the Supreme Lord. Vasudevji could have argued, hey, anyway, you are the Supreme Lord. You managed to come inside this jail, appear here. You can go out also. No, why you are engaging me? I cannot even walk. I'm tired. He did not argue that. Right. And then, so that is his bravery. And as soon as he received the instruction, he immediately agreed and readily started executing that instruction. He did not apply his own material calculation. How can I take you out? I'm already shackled here. I'm inside the jail. So many limitations, so many foundation and all of that. So that is how the seva should be done. Whenever there is instruction, it might, without material calculation, it might sound like very impractical. If you go to the level of material calculation, you will never be able to do the same. But Vasudevji, he did not calculate it materially. He says, okay, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, he came, he gave me this instruction, take me out. Let me just do that. And what he did, as soon as he lifted Krishna on a booty, what happened, we all know the story. So mysteriously, all the shackles are broken. Even he was tied with his feet were tied with the shackles. The shackles were broken apart, and then he started walking out. Now all the doors are locked. He's walking. Somebody says, he's like, what kind of person? Where are you walking? You cannot walk out. But that is the kind of attitude. And okay, let me just go see. Fully dependent on Krishna. And let me just go out. And as soon as he goes out, all the doors, one after another, 16 doors opened, one after another. And then what happened to those security guards who were sitting outside? They fell asleep. Right? How it happened? So if you start applying your material intelligence, it will never happen. So this is how the seva should be done. Instruction is received, just be completely dependent on Krishna. The same instruction was given to Prabhupada. First time when he met his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in 1922. That time he was a household, Dasa, doing his own business. Right, very passionate about his business, Prabhupada. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj said that like similar instruction what the Vasudevji got here. Now Vasudevji, Krishna says, take me out of the jail. Prabhupada also got the similar instruction. Take me out to the whole world. Now, if Prabhupada applies his intelligence, oh, I'm a grasta, I have my own business, my wife, my kids to take care, I'm so busy, maybe I can give some little donation. But why you're asking me such a Herculean task to take out and go around the world and preach? That was the first instruction that he received, that you should go and preach this message of Krishna consciousness around the world. And Prabhupada says that I received that instruction and I accepted that instruction as my life and soul. That should be the determination to do the seva. Now, how the things will manifest? We can just try only. Like the Vasudevji, he tried. He didn't have any plan that how I'll just break the doors of the jail. But it will happen by Krishna's grace. So similarly, Prabhupada, from the day one he received this instruction, started working at how should I preach? It took almost 44 years, 43 years. And in 1965 only, when Prabhupada was 70-year-old, he could come to this country to preach. And that he did not deny, oh, why you're asking me, I'm a grasta. It became delayed. He tried, he keep trying this way, that way, so many ways Prabhupada tried, so many attempts, multiple failures. Finally, he could do that. Right? So that is the lesson that we should learn. If we become completely dependent on the Lord, you try your best and leave the rest. That's the formula. If we become too calculated, mentally speaking, we'll never be able to do any seva. Sometimes when we ask the people, okay, chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. Oh, Prabhuji, this is too much. I have job and you don't know what kind of corporate job in the country, a lifestyle, so many things, we have to do everything, so many calculations. Right? They themselves are not mentally prepared. Hare Krishna, those who are online, please mute yourself. So one should not do all this mental calculation. We'll never be able to do the seva actually. Rather, one should pray to the Lord. You can humbly, submissively accept your limitation. Go to the Lord. Say, Lord, I'm very limited. I cannot do, but I want to do. I cannot do, but I want to do. You have to make me do. That should be the attitude. Right? So these three things happens that all the shackles broken. He was tied. So this, as soon as he lifted Krishna. So similarly, as soon as we lift Krishna, Vasudevji lifted Krishna in the booty. We also have to lift Krishna. On what is that booty? We lift Krishna on our tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This Krishna name is not different from Krishna. So every morning when you get up, first thing is you lift Krishna. Start chanting Krishna's name. And then you'll see there's a lot of limitations, a lot of shackles, mental limitations, physical limitations, circumstantial limitations, so many problems. And you might not have any clue how I'll do that. Don't worry about that. Don't be too dependent on your own abilities. You just sincerely chant Krishna's name, and you will see that how mysteriously things will manifest in your life. And now we all should experience this. Otherwise, it will remain like a theory. We should all experience this. How Krishna very actively, act in our life and can manifest the things which seems like impossible. So Vasudeva's shackles broken. Shackles means as soon as you lift Krishna, we are also bound in this cycle of repeated birth and death. So Vasudev is teaching from this episode that when as soon as you bring Krishna in your life by chanting Krishna's name, we are breaking apart this cycle of repeated birth and death. And then all these, 16, all these doors are opening. So many doors are there. This Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. So many doors we are locked up. We are limited by that. We are bound by all those Kam, Krodh and all that. Because of that, we are not able to do the seva. We are not able to, absorb ourselves in Krishna because of all these anarthas. So it will all open. You will become free from all this bondage. And finally, the third thing was, all the doors open, right? And all the doorkeepers, they fell asleep. So all our anarthas, as soon as you start chanting Hare Krishna, gradually all our anarthas, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, everything will fall asleep. Means they'll die down. Will become purified in our heart. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. And then finally all the doors opened. And these doors are, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you continue to chant and chant and chant. You become free from all the anarthas. And finally it doors the open for Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan. So the only thing we have to do is lift Krishna sincerely. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, has given us this process of lifting Krishna every day by lifting our bead bag. The heaviest thing in the world for many. They can lift many, many things, but lifting that bead bag, so this is too heavy. Right. There's another joke they're saying that what is the real strength? Just to inspire some people to get up early in the morning. So they're saying the heaviest thing is when your alarm goes off to lift your blanket from your body. The heaviest thing, people cannot lift, they cover up them, right? Similarly, the chanting bead might be like very lightweight, but to lift in the early morning, 5 o'clock, Brahma Muhurta time, or maybe a little later, this is like the heaviest thing. Though, so we can practice and we can make it very lighter. But then rest assured that as soon as you lift this Krishna's name, then all our shackles, all our bondage, all our anathas will become completely free. Should be very happily, should be able to come out from this bondage. And that is the whole purpose of this human form of life, to break through this bondage of repeated birth and death and go back to Krishna. So that process is by lifting Krishna. So these are all, wonderful lessons that we can derive from this. And we should develop the faith that it is not me who is doing all those things. It is ultimately Krishna is doing. So let me just follow Krishna's instruction and try to do my best. Do your best and leave the rest. As Krishna says, Ahankar Vimud Atma Karta Ham iti manyate. 3.27 in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, one who thinks I am the doer. I am doing this, I did that, I cannot do this. Either way, I can do this or I did this. This is also ahankar, and I cannot do this is also another type of ahankar. It means in both the cases, what you're thinking, you are the doer. You are the doer means I cannot do this. I did this. There also you're thinking, I am the doer, I cannot do this. I am the doer, but I cannot do this. But we are not the doer. Who is the real doer? Krishna is the doer. One time Prabhupada was in Detroit. Prabhupada was giving a class, a lot of devotees were studying. And Prabhupada saying, now our Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all around so nicely. And Prabhupada with the, he was saying very deeply, said, and everything is done by Krishna. Prabhupada was with the closed eyes, he spoke this. Says everything, but all around the world, this movement is spreaded. They are spreading like the wildfire. Everything is done by Krishna. And then Prabhupada opened his eyes and he saw all these disciples. They were very tired. They're sleeping in the class. He fell asleep. And then again, Prabhupada closed his eyes. And Prabhupada said, "That's the fact. Krishna only doing, everybody sleeping only." Right? Either you're sleeping or you're doing, but ultimately, who's doing? Krishna is doing. Now, what we can do is we can try to follow Krishna's instructions sincerely. And how to follow Krishna's instruction? Through Krishna's pure representative like Srila Prabhupada. We receive the instruction and we try to follow with best of our ability. We should not try to bring in our own limitation or mental limitations, physical limitations. We should try to stretch a little bit. There might be challenges. There would be challenges. They say that Krishna conscious life, and they say that happy life and successful Krishna consciousness life goes ill together. If you're successful, you want to do Krishna conscious life, don't think that everything should be happy in our life. It doesn't work like that. You should be ready, take all the challenges. Like Vasudevji is taking the challenges. A lot of bondage. He's in the jail. But instruction is given, take me out. So for us also a lot of seva is given. So no, Prabhuji, today I'm tired. Today is back pain. Another day neck pain. Something or other will keep going on. But are we ready to stretch ourselves a little bit? You stretch yourself, then you will see that how Krishna will empower us. Right? So when this, we have discussed earlier also that when Prabhupada is trying to build this temple in the Juhu in Bombay, a lot of struggle. There's a long story of struggle. And one time Prabhupada, after many, attempts to attack on him, so many things were going on. And one time Prabhupada was, sitting in his office with one disciple. And Prabhupada said, "Oh, this land is too much headache." Prabhupada in that mood. He said, "There's too much headache." And the disciple, he says, "Prabhupada, I think we should give up. It's not worth to take so much of anxiety and headache for this one land." And then Prabhupada says, "No, but it is worth to take this headache for Krishna. Because if you don't take the headache, anxiety for Krishna, will be forced to take the anxiety for Maya." Prabhupada explains that when you work for Maya, there is a headache. There is a lot of anxiety. In this world also people are working, full of anxiety only. Nobody is happy. Constant anxieties. But don't think when we come to Krishna consciousness, we come to temple, we become devotees, then there is no anxiety. Now this is something revolutionary idea. Why people come to temple? People think, oh, there's so much headache, so much anxiety. Let me just go peacefully sit there, which is great. But that is not the real spiritual life. Spiritual life means lift Krishna, take Krishna out, means do something for Krishna. You have to work hard, you have to sweat for Krishna. You should be ready to take all the challenges. So like that. So Prabhupada says when you work for Maya, there is anxiety. And when you work for Krishna, there is more anxiety. Not less anxiety. There is more anxiety because the people in the outside world, they become your enemies. They'll attack on you. Right? But then Prabhupada says, this more anxiety is more blissful than less anxiety. So now for us it is a theory, but all these pure devotees, Nivratta Darsha Rupagiyaman, for them they live that life. They enjoy taking challenges for Krishna. Prabhupada was very strong taking. So Prabhupada was also a Shari. He was very brave. And here, this Vasudevji is addressed as Shari. So this is the nature of this Krishna Katha we're talking about. It's entertainment for the ear. Those who are not interested in Krishna. Nice stories. Krishna is eating butter thief, something, stealing gopis' cloth, some childhood pastime, very sweet pastimes. So for some, it is entertainment for the ear, and it is enrichment for the heart. Finally, it is enlightenment for the soul. That is the nature of this Krishna Katha. So it caters all classes of people. Nivratta darsha rupagiyamanan bhavashada shrot manobhirama. Either somebody is a liberated soul, pure devotee, somebody is a sadhaka level, and somebody is non-devotee. Everybody can be catered. And then this verse explains, Ka uttama shloka gunanuvadat puman virajyeda bina pashugnat. Who will not take interest in this Krishna Katha? Only one person. One category of people. Those who will not take interest in Krishna Katha. Those who are Pashugna. Pashugna means the killer. Pashu. Pashu means there are different meanings of this Pashu. Pashu is animal killers. Those who are killing and eating animals. they become so merciless, so sinful, they lose the qualification to take any interest in Krishna. They'll be away from Krishna always. They go toward the hell. So this is one meaning of Pashugna. Also, there's another meaning of Pashu means the soul. So one who is the killer of the soul. What it means, killer of the soul? Because we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita explained the soul cannot be killed. Na jayate, na mriyate, nenam chindanti shastrani, nenam dayati bhavaga. The nature of soul is it cannot be cut into pieces, cannot burn by the fire, it cannot die. Then what is the meaning of killer of the soul? Killing the soul, meaning if the soul in this human form of life, we are not getting connected to the Supreme Lord Krishna, we are not engaged in serving Krishna by chanting Krishna, hearing about Krishna, doing some practical devotional service, we are actually killing our soul. Meaning we are missing out this rarest opportunity in this human form of life by not engaging ourselves in the service of Krishna. This as good as killing the soul. So these kind of people, they will never take interest. So that is what the Shukdev Goswami explains here about this verse. And like that, we can go on, talking. Just one word you take and a lot of discussions and a lot of lessons we can learn. So I think we'll just pause here and let me see anybody has any quick question or any comment. Okay, so there's no comment, then we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra, and before that there's a quick announcement.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a question.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, Vasudev ji made a promise and he was fulfilling it, which was good. He was courageous as Kshatriya, but was it not indirectly a crime? Also, he's persisting in justice because he knew that the kids will be killed heinously. So, how did he decide between, like,
Okay.
will he get
Yeah,
this
so
kind
that
of
is a good question. Question is that Vasudeva, though he is glorified as very courageous to, giving those kids, handing over them to Kamsa. But how do you justify doing this? Now we have to go back in the time where the culture was so strong. The Kshatriya means they say that pran jai par vachan na jai. That was the kind of culture in those days. Kshatriya means they say something, then it comes to the cost of their own life or whatever. They cannot go back. So that is one way of understanding it. Another thing that you should understand and we can think of, if he does not keep his promise, but still he is in a helpless situation. He was anyway put into the jail only. If he himself doesn't go and offer, Kamsa is such a demon. He will come and kill the child. That will also happen. So he was not in a situation to protect those kids like that. So he chose to, fulfill his words as a Kshatriya. Otherwise, also he will not be able to protect those children like that. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Okay, any other question or any other comment? So as many of you know already that we are celebrating the Janmashtami on Monday. So you're all most welcome.